Something really big could be getting ready to happen because there's some absolutely incredible news that just came out this last week, and it's that Pope Francis instructs Vatican entities to move all funds to Vatican Bank by September 30th. Now, I'll get more into what the Vatican and their role is in the world and in end times prophecy, but of course, no matter what you believe, the Vatican plays a huge role in control of the world. I mean, the Pope is always meeting with people, Elon Musk and all these different people, different nations, and now we see Islam and the Vatican and Judaism all coming together at the Abrahamic Family Religious Center in Abu Dhabi. I mean, things are just all coming together now, and this is just pretty incredible. So here's the beginning of this article. Pope Francis has ordered that the Holy See and connected entities move all financial assets to the Institute of Works of Religion, the IOR, commonly known as the Vatican Bank. The Pope's rescript issued August 23rd clarifies that the interpretation of a paragraph in the new constitution of the Roman Cura, Predicate Evangelum, promulgated in March. According to Francis's rescript, financial and liquid assets held in banks other than the IOR must be moved to the Vatican Bank within 30 days of September 1st, 2022. The IOR, based in Vatican City State, has 110 employees, 14,000 clients, and they deal with about 5.6 billion client assets that they admit. So what does this mean? Because there's a lot of very strange things surrounding the Catholic Church, end times prophecy, and Pope Francis in general. We know in Revelation that the Antichrist will demand a one world government, a one world religion worshiping him, and a one world monetary system where you can't buy or sell without his mark on your hand or head. And like I just mentioned about the Abrahamic Family Center in Abu Dhabi, we're seeing these religions coming together to join up in a one world way, in a one world system. And I've got a video that's going to be coming out more soon on this one world and every aspect of our lives that's taking place and building up. And the Vatican will play a role in that, and they're starting to, and they have been for years. And I think there's a very high likelihood that they are Mystery Babylon. I think they're definitely the number one suspect for that to be the case, and I'm going to get into some of that here. First, I want to also point out that Saint Malachi in year 1139 had a vision, said he had a vision that it was revealed to him that there'd be 112 more popes, and that the last one would be a black pope, referring to corrupt, not referring to skin color. And Pope Francis is currently Pope number 112. What's interesting about the whole black pope aspect of this all is that for two reasons. One is that he's a Jesuit and he's part of a secret society, which is the Jesuits, and they wear all black. Another thing interesting about it is just that he would be corrupted. And Malachi Martin, who worked in the high offices of the Vatican. He was an exorcist, an archaeologist, a professor, worked very high up within the Vatican, but then I believe he renounced his ties to the Catholic Church, or at least the level of what he was dealing with within the Vatican, because he realized that there was at the very top level a group of people, a power elite within the Vatican, who were, of course, doing the sexual things with children that everybody knows about. They were all, many of them, gay. And he said that all these people worshipped Lucifer, and there was actually a satanic ring within the Vatican at the highest levels. So of course that could also tie to the meaning of the Black Pope within St. Malachi's vision, if that's an honest vision. But we do have Malachi Martin's testimony, which seems to me to be very true. Now I'm going to get into why it makes sense that the Vatican is Mystery Babylon, and why Pope Francis coming out and saying that all Catholic institutions need to put their money in the Bank of Rome. I mean, what do they know? What do they know that's coming where they want all their resources within their control? You know, the Vatican has a heavy hand in the world systems of the world, and they very well could be Mystery Babylon. So what do they know that we don't? This could be huge. It really could be. But before I get into the Mystery Babylon aspect of this, I want to point out, I believe there's many Catholics who are saved, but there's massive errors within the Catholic Church. And I have an old video on it that I'll leave linked in the description titled The Many Errors of the Catholic Church. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I worked in multiple Catholic churches before I just stopped and just committed completely to just believing the Bible and Christianity in that aspect. But I want to point that out because there on that video I describe how I believe Catholics are saved, the whole thing on that, some Catholics are saved, and just the many doctrinal errors, and I bring it up in that video, that the Catholic Church openly states that are completely unbiblical. Now, as far as Mystery Babylon goes, I mean, there's very few nations and very few cities that this ties to that it could be for the end times Mystery Babylon that's deceiving the whole world. And when we look at it in relation to the Catholic Church, I mean, it really makes complete sense for the Catholic Church and doesn't fit any other entity as well as if it's the Catholic Church. So Mystery Babylon is a corrupt church. Just as a pure woman represents a pure church, a corrupt woman represents a corrupt church. The woman in white is Christ's bride, the true church. But Revelation 17:1, 15 through 16, and 19, verse 2, call this second woman a whore and a harlot, a fallen church teaching false doctrines. Mystery Babylon is also a rich church. This symbolic wicked woman, this corrupt church, is a rich one with gorgeous display. Revelation 17:4 says that she's decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand. I mean, which church in the world who's the richest? I mean, clearly that points directly. What else points to nothing else than the Vatican with that verse alone? The Vatican is known for their stones, their gold, their pearls, all their riches, the Vatican archives, and just the countless riches that they have locked up within those Vatican archives in historical artifacts and precious metals and stones. It's incredible to think of. And really, the Catholic Church is the only church in the world that even adorns themselves with gold that I know of. I mean, synagogues and mosques don't normally have gold and stones and all this stuff like the Catholic Church does. So that sure sounds to be like the Catholic Church to me. Mystery Babylon is also a church built on 7 hills or 7 mountains. This identification given in Revelation 17:9 is impressive and clear, for Rome is known to be the city built on 7 hills. Webster's large and unabridged dictionary says this under the entry 7-hilled, as the 7-hilled city that is Rome, Italy. Furthermore, Revelation 17:18 tells John, the woman whom you saw is that great city which reigns over the kings of the earth. And as we know, the history of the Catholic Church from its foundation up until now, its true foundation, which I don't believe is really Peter, there's no real proof for that. Ever since the Catholic Church started gaining momentum, it's been known for reigning over the kings of the earth. And like I mentioned earlier before, we're still seeing that today with the Pope, with Pope Francis meeting with imams in Islam and with Elon Musk and all these different people. I mean, the Pope is involved and the Vatican is involved with reigning over and guiding and communion with these different people who have power on the earth. Mystery Babylon is also a large worldwide church and says that she sits on many waters, explained as being many peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Revelation 17:1 and 15, the very word Catholic means universal, and that the papal church has the largest, most widespread membership in Christendom. And yes, it spreads to many peoples, multitudes, nations all across the entire world, which again will be one of the religious centers at the Abrahamic Family Center, where they're bringing Catholicism, not Christianity, but Catholicism, Islam, and Judaism all together under one. It'll be a Catholic church there, not Christian, not biblically Christian, that's for sure. There's also many other verses that are referencing Mystery Babylon that would make sense in reference to the Catholic Church, but those ones are the ones that stand out to me and definitely are the most prevalent. I mean, they're practically undeniable when you get into the churches and how the church is adorned. This Mystery Babylon is adorned and that it's a city on 7 hills. I mean, you practically can't really look much elsewhere. And if the Catholic Church is Mystery Babylon, and even if they aren't, they have big roles within the world and they know things for sure at the highest levels that we don't. And if we take Malachi Martin's testimony to be true, then there's a satanic order within them at the highest levels. So what are they doing when they take the money out and they demand it to all be put into the Vatican World Bank, the IOR? And then when we think of this in correlation to all the cashless things going on in the world, Starbucks not taking cash anymore, different nations pushing to not have cash anymore, I mean, it's just really all moving into just what it will be. I mean, the systems are being set up. They won't be done overnight. The Antichrist system and the beast systems of the world will not just take place the very next day. You won't just wake up and here it is. These things are being moved in place. That's what I believe. I believe it's conditioning. I believe it's like pre-programming of a type. It's like a satanic pre-programming to get people used to this type of systems that will have to be in place. And it really looks like that's what's going on. So I wanted to bring that up, point that out, because this could be huge. This could really be huge. Pope Francis instructs Vatican entities to move all funds to Vatican Bank by September 30th. There's something going on there. It really seems to me that there is. Of course, as always, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. That's what matters. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and through him and the Bible alone is salvation. Thanks for watching, and God bless.